Hello and welcome to A Matter of Fact. With me this week I have Max Wilkins.
Hello.
Simon Egan.
Hi.
Laura Stevens.
Hello.
And I'm your host Kirby Rawstorn. For our third episode, the topic is ancient Greece, a group of cities, kingdoms and principalities that existed where the country of Greece now resides today. Round 4, Myths and Legends. Laura, what have you got to tell us?
Okay, so my myth and legend fact is that on Santorini, which is a Greek island, it is apparently overrun with vampires. What am I talking about? A word I can barely pronounce, which is Hercules. I do apologise. That is the best I can do. Max?
Vrykolakas.
Let's try Simon as well. Let's all have a go at this. I want to see.
Yeah, Vrykolakas.
I'm just going to be different and Rikolalas. No, I was totally wrong. Anyway, yeah, carrying on. Sorry.
Greek vampires.
Vampire.
Who apparently would choke you to sleep specifically. The Greek island is said to be riddled with them, according to myths and legends, reporting way back to around the time that they were still worshipping Zeus, Hades, etc., etc., and certainly predating the Twilight Saga.
And with that, vampires don't sparkle. Fantastic.
Or have edgy cheekbones. That's all contouring.
Cool. And so next we have Simon.
For myths and legends, Hesiodus Theogony. Basically, most of the even modern conceptions of myths and legends for the ancient Greeks are the first transcripts of the gods and the roles and whatnot were basically in Hesiodus Theogony. Much of the art and that followed that most people based them upon were all around this book. Around 700 BC, it was the first written record of the origins of the Greek mythology. It tells the story of the universe's journey from nothingness, chaos, primeval void, or whatever way you want to describe it, to being details with elaborate family trees, elements, gods, goddesses, and how this evolved from chaos. It basically set the basis for most of people's understandings, and that's what their go-to and their reference kind of book would be.
So it was the basis of all
Greek
mythology?
Not the basis of all Greek mythology. Hesiod's Theogony was the first record of it. Then you have all the gods, all the relationships between them, how it all laid out, the whole setup. It's the first transcripts of this, and everything kind of stems from there. So it for me, it seemed to be the most interesting fact around the mythology, all the myths and legends and how all the stories and everything. This was the first recorded reference.
From researching the mythology for this subject, it is worse than comic book continuity, or the worst soap opera that's been running for 50 years that you haven't got a clue what you're looking at.
Did you never watch Xena?
No, I didn't know what to say to that for a second.
How did you not watch Xena?
Ridiculous. It's almost worse than the Bible, X begats Y, Y begats this, that. It's just everyone's intermingled and intermarried. Mm-hmm. And if that is the basis for it, it must be the most plagiarised book. Or the most plagiarised
Well, they
piece
do
of work,
actually have basically a version of Noah and the Ark that's on a completely
so
different
people,
mountain, and no one agrees on what mountain it is.
Yes. You get a certain fact, and then it says X says that it was this way, and then Y says it was slightly different, and Z says it was slightly different. It's just.
So, Max, you've got some fact for us.
My fact for myth and legend actually spawns from Simon's fact, which is Echidna was the mother of most well-known Greek mythical creatures. Now, according to reputable mythographer Apollodorus in the 1st or 2nd century BCE, which comes from Simon's general theory that all myths are connected, Echidna was the offspring of Tartarus, the embodiment of the underworld, and Gaia, the embodiment of world or life. Her appearance possibly was a half-human, half-snake, freakish mer-snake creature, or possibly a snake body with a human head, which I think is arguably less threatening. She had offspring with Typhon, which was the giant with 100 snake heads. Incidentally, her brother, because ancient Greek mythology was messed up, and also, incidentally, the most metal thing you can imagine, the giant with 100 snake heads. You just can't do better than that. Their offspring included, but was not limited to, Cerberus, the three-headed dog of Hades, the Hydra, the many-headed serpent, slaughtered by Hercules, the Chimera, the lion body, a creature with a lion's body, a goat's head on its back, and a snake head as a tail, the Sphinx, which had a lion's body and a woman's head, and was not created by the Egyptians, it was created by the ancient Greek. And the Nemean lion, who was a lion killed by Hercules and is the reason why he's depicted wearing the lion skin and the club.
That was one of his first
His first tests.
Lion mane, sorry. As well as just corrected me, Sotovoce.
Yes. Somewhat Halo-ish, depending on how you
depending on where you
look at various different things. Yeah, I know.
So she was the mother, there were... This is going in a little bit too depth, but there were the Titans prior to the gods, and then they spawned. She was like the second or third generation of
not necessarily prior, because the Titans and the Olympians had a war.
Yes, on the Titans.
Which
and then
sort of went between Titus and Cronos.
This is what I'm saying about how messed
and Uranus. Just to throw that one in there.
Uranus was in there. He was getting all up in people's business,
but he got hit hard.
And he ate a lot of
babies.
And he shattered.
No,
he just broke down.
He ate a lot of flava beans.
Did he?
Flava beans.
Well, if he's Uranus, I'm sure he doesn't smell too great.
Echidna was sort of second or third generation mythological creature who spawned the various other beasts. That
Knuckles, for one.
Knuckles, the Echidna, for example, was one. Sonic,
who was also second generation in himself.
Sonic, son of Apollo, because he was so quick.
Yeah. And all those shoes as well. That was a nice one.
That's a very funny joke.
Nice little segue.
Subjects.
Oh. So, Laura, I understand you have a joke for us.
Max?
Yes, Laura.
What game did the ancient Greeks play?
They played Discus. I'm going to say Discus.
Hydra and go seek.
Hydra and go seek. That's good. That's actually good. That made me smile.
That followed your one.
Yeah, well played.
And it's not the one that I had written here. So
very well placed.
See, I've only got one joke about the ancient Greeks, and it's just not going to make it into the edit.
Is it how much does a Grecian earn? About £1.50.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
Go on, Laura. Oh yeah, no, mine's just, how did the Spartans separate the men from the boys with a crowbar? Sorry. Right, so this is my longest fact, actually, and it's that Hercules was a bit of a dick.
Oh.
Sorry, are we moving?
Sorry.
Are we moving on to?
No. We're still on myth and legends.
Sorry, do you mean Hercules or Heracles?
Same person. Heracles is the original Greek, and it's because it was something like adversary of Hera, which is why he's called Heracles.
It's the westernised version of Heracles,
which became Hercules. Yeah.
People didn't know how to pronounce Heracles.
So, if you didn't already know, then basically Hercules' stepmom, Hera, gets a bit annoyed that her husband frequently goes out and plays hide the Dalmadas with various women, and decides to take it out on their innocent children. I like that one as well.
It's very funny. Sorry.
Thank you.
Reference tomatoes.
I'm big on vegetables.
You could have said hide the Greek
It's a
as well.
Dalmadas?
Tomatoes.
No, I was going with violins because it's leaves and rice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean your tomatoes. After repeatedly failing to kill Hercules or Heracles, depending on how Greek you are, she gets him super drunk and shows him visions of monsters, and then he kills his family thinking they're monsters. As punishment, so he is charged with completing these legendary challenges that are basically almost guaranteed to kill him. And poor old Hercules, you might say, wrong. On his way to challenge number 4, which is killing a giant boar of some kind, pretty sure it's part of it. Anyway.
Also,
so he's
also the offspring of Echidna. I just didn't include it.
Offspring of Echidna, fair enough. There we go. So Hercules on his way to kill a giant
boar. By his theology.
Hercules on his way to kill Echidna's boar, and he stops off at his friend's boar.
Boar, yes. Sorry.
Not his horn. Yeah. Sorry. So he stops off at his friend's Pholus's house, and Pholus is a centaur, which is half man, half horse, as you know. So after inviting himself in and being fed, he insists on being given wine, and based on all the legends, he seriously insists. He says, "Give me the wine you've got. I know you've got some wine." Okay, he's Greek. Yeah,
does he wine-jack this poor man?
Well, is that because they know that their breakfast was bread dipped in wine? Because in which case...
Could be. But this is at dinner. This is at dinner time. He's just had some cooked meat.
Never had Brenner.
The only wine available is in Pholus's keeping and belongs collectively to all the centaurs. Hercules drinks it anyway, pretty much nabs it off the guy. And long story short, the centaurs try and kill him. So they all turn up at this guy's house and try and kill Hercules. Now, Hercules by this point has already killed the Hydra. He's taken its blood and he's dipped some arrows in it because the Hydra's blood is the most poisonous thing on Earth.
Venomous.
Go on. Venomous, sorry. What? Yeah, one of the two.
Sorry.
So he's done this and he's got all these arrows. Now, these horse people are pretty much almost infallible and almost undefeatable because they're so big. So he shoots a couple of them with the old Hydra arrows. They go down like rocks. And then he's off running after them with his legendary strength, strangling them, doing various different bits. At which point, his friend, Pholus, picks up an arrow and goes, "How the fuck does this kill one of us centaurs?" Drops it on himself and kills himself by mistake. At which point, Hercules turns up back home and pretty much goes, "Oh shit, never mind," and moves on. There is no mention of any remorse. I mean,
mourning stage.
No. He grieves for days. In all the legends, when he kills his family, fair enough, you understand, killing your family in a drunken fit. You have mourning of, I think it's about a year. He actually goes completely mad and then he gets sentenced. In this, he kills one of the people who's actually his best friends, who he's then nicked his wine and then killed a large proportion of his species and been the cause of his own friend's death. Not a thing. Just moves on to the next challenge.
Just looks down.
Is the hardest thing for you to stomach in this whole thing is the fact that he stole his wine?
That really is. It works.
That does. But yeah, I like the idea that he just looks down and just goes, "Silly bastard, deserved it," and just walks up.
Yeah, with the skin of Frosty Jacks, you know.
Excuse me, whilst I steal Curly's wine.
Yeah. But no, there are stories throughout Hercules' legendary journeys of him being a complete dickhead. And he's an amazing hero, but at the same time he is also a complete twat.
And not only when he's played by Kevin Sorbo.
Okay.
Or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
I like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but
I love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
To be fair, he's not the best actor in the world, but he does action very well.
He does.
Yeah, fair point. I will stand by that.
I never said give him an Oscar.
No. To be fair, I like The Rock as well. And yes, let's be honest about it. Since the late 80s, early 90s, action heroes have been pretty slim picking. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And at the end of the day, for any one of us to go back and watch, say, Predator, or watch some of the older action movies.
Yeah.
If you look at any of the modern movies with the action heroes, they don't really cut the mustard the same way. And yes, it is cheesy. Yes, you know it's incredibly over the top, but there's some fun to be had watching it.
I wonder if it's because he can't act quite so well as, you know,
This is what I'm saying. The Rock is probably the closest thing to it.
Because he can't... But yeah, I don't know, he's getting there. He's improving his, you know...
No, he's a better actor than he was.
Yeah.
But
as far as I'm concerned, Arnold Schwarzenegger spawned a term in movie criticism.
Get to the chopper.
No, that I subscribe to very highly. You have a good movie, a bad movie, and an awesome movie. Now, good movie is your Citizen Kane, your Oscar winners that make you think and stuff like that. Bad movie, Birdemic. Let's be honest, a horrendous movie. Zombievers.
No,
Sharknado.
Now you're starting to...
Snakes on a plane. It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, but that is Samuel L. Jackson saying he doesn't want any of the... any of these MFing snakes on
He's
his
just-
MFing
Seeing as we
plane.
said fuck many times tonight.
Yeah.
He doesn't want those motherfucking snakes on his motherfucking plane. Now, Schwarzenegger. Now, Samuel L. Jackson just said that in a movie. Awesome. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? It's not a good movie, but it's an awesome movie. So I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson creates, Doom, for example, if you've seen Doom.
Yeah, no.
It's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. But it's quite awesome.
To the game genre, I think, to be honestly,
It's not the worst.
to actually pigeonhole that into the whole movie, that you actually have part of the whole movie is harping back to the actual game thing.
That's a good scene.
And yeah, that whole scene where he's running around, but you just go, regardless of if you've ever played the game, part of you's going, yeah, it's shit, but part of you's going, yeah.
I think Laura has a joke that is quite
Apt.
my dear. Okay, this is
Max, you have a joke for
one
us.
of the jokes from who was it from? Sorry?
This is from Tiffany at work.
This
Another
is from,
Tiffany joke.
This is another
Tiffany
joke.
gem.
What do you call the Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie about the Greek bailouts? The Last Action Gyro.
Speaking from the people who don't get that joke, you don't need to explain it. I'm sure the people who get that joke are laughing their ass off right now. I think you just leave the partition there. If you try to explain it, the joke will probably lose all its charm for the people who got it. And for the people who don't know what that joke was about, probably still won't understand it even if you explain.
And somewhere down the middle, there's somebody that appreciates a middle of the road Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Moving swiftly on.
So, round 4, myths and legends. Who's going to win this one? Have we got Laura with her Santorini vampires, Simon with his theogony, Max with his Mother Echidna, or me with my Legend of Hercules?
Did he say Mother Echidna?
Yes.
Because just the image of the Teresa, she's wearing a habit, but she's also a snake creature. It's beautiful.
I liked it. I thought I did quite well on that. Santorini vampires.
Yeah, Santorini vampires. Sounds like...
To be fair, you could say that tomatoes are vampires because they do eat.
They eat insects because they paralyse them or something, don't they? And they drop to the floor. Yeah. Right. Okay, Simon, who are you going for?
Jesus. Well, I gotta say the vampire tomatoes. I gotta get my vote.
Vampire tomatoes, fantastic. Now I like mother of all whatchamacallits, monsters. So Max, I'm
Mother
going
of all monsters that you can't remember.
Mother Echidna. I've got it written right here. I can't just say
Mother of all, the Blairs and Bear, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Mother of all the Blairs.
Oh, the blah blah blah. Yes,
Responsible for the Iraq War, Mother Echidna. Anyway, Laura, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Simon's.
And Max, who are you going to go with?
Annoyingly enough, I've actually got to go with the Legend of Hercules. I'm fairly certain that was a video I watched recently on the internet. On YouTube, it was clean.
Max subscribes.
So that's fantastic. Everybody wins!
Everybody wins.
Yay!